There's a quiet belief most people have about their future. It goes something like this. As long as I keep contributing to my 401k, I'll be fine. It sounds responsible. It sounds safe. It sounds like the right thing to do. But what if that belief is exactly what's putting your retirement at risk? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. A 401k alone does not guarantee a successful retirement. In fact, there are millions of people right now, hardworking, consistent, disciplined people, who have been contributing for decades, and still won't have enough. Not because they were lazy. Not because they didn't try. But because they followed a system they never fully understood. So in this video, we're going to break that system down. Not to scare you, but to give you control. We're going to uncover why the traditional 401k mindset is incomplete. The hidden risks no one explains clearly. And the smarter way to build real retirement security. By the end of this video, you won't just have a 401k anymore. You'll know how to use it like someone who actually wins. Let's start with a simple question. Why do most people feel safe with a 401k? It's not because they've done deep research. It's because of repetition. From your first job, you're told, sign up for your 401k, get the company match, contribute consistently, and that becomes the entire plan. No deeper strategy. No real understanding. Just participation. And here's where the illusion begins. Because a 401k gives you the feeling of progress. You see contributions going in, a balance growing, maybe some market gains, and your brain says, I'm doing it. I'm on track. But here's the problem. Progress without direction is dangerous. Because you can be moving forward, and still end up in the wrong place. Imagine driving for hours, but never checking your destination. That's how most people treat their retirement. They assume, if I just keep going, I'll get there. But retirement doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards strategy. Section 2. The real risk nobody talks about. When people think about risk in a 401k, they think about the market going down. But that's not the biggest risk. The biggest risk is much quieter. Much slower. And far more dangerous. It's the risk of not having enough when it matters most. Let's break that down. Imagine you spend 30 to 40 years building your 401k. You do everything right. You contribute consistently, you stay invested, you avoid panic selling, and you retire with $600,000. Sounds solid, right? But now reality kicks in. You have rising healthcare costs, inflation eating your purchasing power, no active income, and potentially 20 to 30 years to fund. Suddenly, that $600,000 doesn't feel like security. It feels like a countdown. And this is what most people miss. Your 401k is not about reaching a number. It's about creating sustainable income. And if your plan doesn't account for that, you're not planning for retirement. You're just saving blindly. Section 3. The set it and forget it trap. One of the most popular pieces of advice is, set it and forget it. And to be fair, there's a reason this exists. It prevents emotional decisions. It encourages consistency. But here's the truth. Set it and forget it works for behavior, but fails for optimization because your life changes. Your income changes, your goals change, and your strategy should change too. But most people never adjust. They stick with the same contribution rate, keep the same fund allocation, and ignore new opportunities for decades. That's not investing. That's autopilot. And autopilot doesn't maximize outcomes. It just maintains momentum. Section 4. What smart investors do differently. Let's shift perspectives. Because the goal isn't to abandon your 401k. It's to use it intelligently. Smart investors think differently. They don't ask, "How much am I contributing?" They ask, "What is this actually building for me?" Here's how they approach it. 1. They think in systems, not accounts. Your 401k is just one piece. They combine it with IRAs, brokerage accounts, and other income streams. Why? Because flexibility matters. A 401k alone is restrictive. 2. They prioritize efficiency. They look at fees, tax implications, and asset allocation, not just returns. Because keeping more of your money is just as important as making it. 3. They respect time, but don't rely on it alone. Time helps, but strategy multiplies. They don't just wait, they optimize. 4. They stay informed, but not obsessed. They understand their plan. They review it. They adjust when needed. But they don't panic. Section 5. The power shift. Here's where everything changes. The moment you stop thinking like a participant and start thinking like an owner. Because when you're just participating, you follow default paths. But when you take ownership, you start asking better questions. Why am I in these funds? Are these fees acceptable? Is this allocation aligned with my goals? And those questions lead to better decisions, which lead to better outcomes. Section 6. Building a strategy that actually works. Let's build something real. A retirement strategy that goes beyond surface-level advice. Layer 1. Foundation, your 401k. Get the match. Use strong, low-cost funds. Stay consistent. Layer 2. Flexibility, Roth plus brokerage. This gives you tax flexibility, withdrawal options, and control. Layer 3. Income planning. This is where most people fail. You need to think about how your money will pay you later, not just grow. Section 7. The wake-up call. Let's be honest, no one is coming to fix your retirement. Not your employer, not the government, and not your 401k provider. This is your responsibility, and that might feel overwhelming, but it's actually empowering. Because it means you're not stuck, you can adjust, you can improve, and you can win. Your 401k is not broken, but your understanding of it might be incomplete. And that's okay, because now, you see the bigger picture. You understand it's not just about contributing. It's about strategy. It's about income, it's about control, and once you have that, everything changes. If this video shifted how you think about your 401k, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video. Comment, control, if you're taking ownership of your future. Share this with someone who needs to hear this. And subscribe to Smart Money Compounds. Because here, we don't follow average advice. We build real wealth strategies. And if you're ready for the next level, click the next video on your screen right now. Because the next move you learn might be the one that changes everything.